if you look at heritage in Sri Lanka, from what I understand and compare it with Europe, we are a little bit narrow in the sense that we focus very much on the religious heritage of the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Catholics, and even the Muslims, but primarily of the Buddhists. So in the context of heritage, religion goes very, very strongly, whereas I see that being removed, and to some extent there's arts and music and all of that coming in the European culture. Not to say that it's not emerging in our culture, but our heritage and Kandi's heritage is primarily a Buddhist heritage, but incorporated in it is, of course, dance, some music, some musical instruments of that nature, and cultures of weaving on different types of tapestry using vegetable, products like cane and things of that nature. So there is all of that as well. At the age of 16, although we studied heritage and culture under a subject called social studies at school, it is no more a subject at schools in Sri Lanka today. It was an incorporation of sociology, history, geography, and all of that. It was a beautiful subject. I did pay some attention to that subject. I loved that subject. But when I was 17 years old for a 1-year scholarship to New Zealand as a student of an American Field Service scholarship student, I found that it was necessary that I was able to share with my new community and my new family in New Zealand the culture and heritage of my country. And it was able to bring me back to my studies and also reflect upon it and talk. And then I was with students from Sweden, from Africa, from South America, from Japan, and who all talked about their culture. Because talking about culture and heritage becomes comparative and it becomes fascinating. So as a result, even though I went into a life in economics, finance, and accounting later on in life, I always would draw a book that would fascinate me of the culture of another country, because I don't think there's a greater way to understand a people without knowing their heritage and culture. So I think if you can impart your heritage and culture, you're understood better by others as well. Well, Kandy in a local context of Sri Lanka is probably the Mecca of Buddhism, because it has the holiest shrine of the Buddhists, which is the Temple of the Tooth, and people from all 4 corners of Sri Lanka come to pay homage as a pilgrim to this temple. And also during the Asala Perahera, which is the festival of elephants in the month of August, it becomes not only a local attraction, but also a tourist attraction. The temple in itself, with all the museums around, the International Buddhist Museum, the War Museum, the Clothes and Jewelry Museum, all of that capture the last stages of the Sri Lankan country before it got captured by the British. So leading to our capture, all of those amazing features of warfare, culture, costume, all of that is found in the museums of Kandy. And Kandy is also a very rich city with regard to education. It has some of the best schools in Sri Lanka and also probably one of the best universities. And as a result, it is an academic capital of some sort as well. Hey, ciao, Malay. Ciao, Malay. So actually, it all started with my wife and I wanting to go and visit these old temples, because we both left work rather early in our life. We retired from our world of finance and we thought we will take another path. And as we were doing all of this, I met my close friends Sanji and Anna. And Sanji and Anna are people who are involved in the inbound tourism industry, especially for the Spanish and European markets. And he said, wow, if you're doing this, could you please help me by incorporating it on a website, which I want to develop so that I can let people know there's more to do in Kandy. Kandy is just not a one-day stop. There's much more to do. So can you please help me incorporate that in my website? I said, sure. And since my wife and he are both lovers of birds, they said, let's do a page on birds. Let's photograph all the birds that we can see in Kandy, describe them, and we'll put that in as well. And so it developed with the 4 of us going all over Kandy, using a book that was actually put out by Dr. Lloyd Virakon, an eye surgeon in the 1980s. When he retired at the age of 75 or 80, he took upon himself to write a book on the old vihares or the Rajamaha vihares of Kandy. And so we started tracing his work. We actually got his permission many years ago. I did, to see whether I could use his language, his sketches, and he gave it to me in writing that I may use it and translate it to any language I want. And so, with the blessing of Dr. Lloyd Veerakoon, I was able to trace his wonderful story and incorporate more. So, of the 70 temples, we have only covered about 12 or 15. And we might want the assistance of all our viewers and visitors to the website to be participants in covering it and helping us as well. As a foreigner, I find that most people who come out of Sri Lanka here, whatever culture that they come from, they tend to think that Kandy is just a one-night stop. You know, you go to the Temple of the Tooth, you go and listen to the drum and the dancing of the Kandyan dancing. You go around the market. It's such a small city. You can walk around it. And in the night, other than a few restaurants which open and are active, and a lot of people don't even know about these restaurants. People think there's nothing to do in Kandy at night, and then they go off. So if you, as a foreigner, come into Sri Lanka, I suggest that you immediately look at Kandy Guide and look at the events page. Look at all the events that are happening in the week. See what events really interest and fascinate you, that you can probably engage with locals, if that is what your choice is, locals with similar interest. And then you tick those days in the calendar. And if you are at all flexible, many people are flexible in their traveling today. If you're all flexible at all, then make sure you come to Kandy on those days. You contact those numbers and say, oh, can I come, for instance, to the Alliance Francaise to see that music festival, a jazz festival, or an arts festival that Alliance is having, or the British Council, or the International Center of Ethnic Studies, or the University of Peradeniya. You know, so there are a lot of events that are being posted, and you can choose to integrate with the people and at the same time have a holiday. So isn't that a wonderful experience? And I would suggest people to do look at Kandy Guide. Say that you are doing hikes to the mountains around Hantana, Balana Fort, Kadugannava. It could be even the Knuckles Range, and you are a lover of taking people out on these hikes. Put it as an event, as an experience for people to join you with. Locals might join, even foreigners might join. You know, it will be a wonderful experience for you to show your city. And you could be a museum tour person if you're a university student and you have some free time and you love museums in Kandy. You could say, here's a tour I do. Every Tuesday, I take a person to the museum and show them around. So I suggest that you engage with the community in Kandy, and it is the wider community of Sri Lankans who would come to Kandy, and it could also be foreigners. So I would, and also more importantly, I know a lot of you people in Kandy do not know about the temples around. And even if you might have seen them, you probably might not know its historic significance. So if you go to the Rajamaha Vihara, not only do you get an account of the temple, but you also get the words that are specific to temple language. And you could know the meaning, the wider meaning of these old Pali and Sanskrit words, and then get a better understanding of the art and the sculpture and the architecture that you see. Okay, the Kandy Guide is basically a site which consists of things that would be of interest to people in Kandy who live in Kandy, but also people who visit Kandy. So Kandy Guide, we have structured it to be a posting of events so people know what's happening in Kandy, because the first thing people say is, what is there to do in Kandy? And this is the ideal place to go because it says what you can do in Kandy, because it has an events calendar of what's going on during the week, the next month, and so forth in Kandy. Secondly, Kandy has another section called Rajamaha Vihara, which are beautiful temples which have been kind of patronized by the kings and lands given by the kings in the past. And there are over 70 of these amazing temples around Kandy, and we feature them. We tell you how to go there, and we've done a descriptive account of each of these temples. Then we have Birds of Ceylon, and then we have other events posted which are of cultural significance, but a couple of these sections are not complete yet. So right now the focus is the temples and the events that happen in Kandy, including the restaurants that you can go grab a lively meal at.
මාස එකයි දවස් තුනයි මුහුදෙන්නම් බෝට්ටුවෙන් ඉතාලියට ආවේ මං දේශාංශය වෙනස් වුණේ එහිදී දැන් සිනොරීනා උඹ හින්දා මැරුණා මං